Oh, man.
Hey, old man on the mat crew. This is Tony Jones, the original old man, coming at you with another great episode of the Old Man on the Mat Crew. But guys, listen up. I'm very excited. I know I say that every stinking time. I'm very excited about life. At my age, you're getting up in the morning, you take a breath. I open my eyes. I'm like, well, he ain't done with me yet. So let's keep moving, right? So I'm fired up about today. And before I get past this, guys, remember to like and share. We're on all the platforms, Apple, YouTube's everywhere. Share, like, comment. Let me know if I'm doing a great job. Let me know if I'm doing a bad job. I'll ignore those anyway. But let me know everything. And guys, appreciate you guys hitting our merch over there at oldmanonthemat.com. Things are flying off the shelf. We have rash guards launching soon. But everything else is out there, guys. But with that, guys, I am excited about this guest. And most of our guests have gone through different gambits of fitness levels, nutrition, pickleballs, whatever they're doing out there. That's a fun one. So that's the craze out there. But this guest, I'm telling you, this lady has so many certifications, and I had to look up 2 of them. Because I'm like, what was that? Well, guys, let me tell you, she's a former boxer. She's a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu black belt. She's out there in Texas, correct? Out in Texas.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
She has, and I'm looking at 5 certifications for the PPSC, which is the pain-free specialist.
Yep.
She has Pilates. She has Bulgarian bags. I hate those things.
Oh.
She's an ace. Just because I hurt when I do them. She has everything. She owns her own studio out there. Guys, this is Rita Hicks from Team Hicks Fitness in Texas. How you doing, girl?
Pretty good. Woke up alive, a little sore for comp training for Master Worlds, but
oh yeah, you're going for that. Nice. My gosh, I lost my breath saying all the stuff about you.
I know. It's so much. It's because I'm old and I've been doing a lot of things, but not learning technology. That's for sure.
Well, exactly. I've been trying to play around with the new phrase like says that old man on the mat. I tried old hags on the mat. That didn't work for the ladies. We're working on some things. We'll get a line for the ladies, but let me tell you, I'm fired up just reading your stuff. Seriously, reading all your stuff here and seeing the stuff you've done. Especially going from boxing and certifications and fitness. You have your own studio out there. Let's start this from the beginning. How did it all start? Tell me your story. I want to hear how you got started in fitness, what was leading up before fitness, the whole thing.
Well, let's see. I never worked out like in high school, never played a sport. They didn't really support that for females because I'm old. When I was in high school, like we didn't have wrestling for girls. There was none of that. Like the most I could do was auto body. So I did like auto body and mechanics in high school. And I really thought that's what I wanted to do for a living. I have 3 brothers. So like I was doomed to do man things anyway.
Right.
And when I was actually I did an internship at an auto body place and they told me to get out of the car industry. Don't do it. Like everybody that was there, they're like, don't go to college, get the hell out of here. You'll never get out of it. Don't get in.
Wow.
I was like, okay. So then I went to college. And so then I started working out because I wanted to be fine, not because I cared about anything else. Right.
Don't we all, right?
And so I was like, okay, I'll get a trainer, whatever. And so this trainer was like taking me through the most boring sitting in fucking machine. Oh, am I allowed to cuss? I didn't
Yes, you can say whatever you want to say, girl. Be you.
I was like, I should ask that appropriately.
No.
So he was putting me in machines. It was so boring. And I was like, okay, there's got to be a better way. So I was in college. I'm like, let me just start taking some kinesiology courses.
Oh, Lord.
Because I was like, just started college. I had no direction anyway. So I might as well do something, right?
Right.
You hated kinesiology? It was so great.
I did. It was so hard for me. I'm a slow person.
Oh, you just have to memorize literally everything.
I know. That was my problem.
So I just like fell into it because I was like, okay. Also, I started taking college courses, and then I was like, oh, so women should do this, and we should do. And I just dove right into it. My nerdiness just took over, and so literally, it was the only thing I've ever done. I went straight out of college into being a personal trainer, and then I've done literally nothing else.
Really? Holy! Where'd you go to school?
I went to Brookhaven. We call it Brook Harvard, though, so it is a community college. But
that's okay.
But now we have 4-year community colleges because that's how the world works. I'm poor. I was raised very poor, so I had to pay for it myself.
Yep, worked hard, 3 jobs. I got it. I did the same thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I just started at a box gym at 24 Hour Fitness 20 years ago, almost 21 years ago now.
Wow.
And
Wow.
back when it was like, really cool to go to box gyms. Remember that? Like everybody,
Oh
it was
yeah.
like all the bodybuilders and the
Yep.
strippers. Like that was the gym I worked at. Was like the one where all the strippers were and the bodybuilders. It was great. We called it a meat market. It was amazing.
Exactly.
Not if you want to like stay married, but if you're single, it was great.
It was the
So
best place ever.
yeah. And then slowly what starts happening? I mean, you have to get continuing education every 2 years as a personal trainer anyway. So I just started taking different certifications. About this time, functional training started to become very popular. I don't know if you kind of remember that craze taking off in the early 2000s.
I remember it all. Oh yeah.
And so like
less weight, moving better, the whole thing.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, they called it functional training, but you just weren't sitting in a freaking machine anymore. I mean, this is before CrossFit. This was before all of that, right? Because I'm super old. So we had like the first functional training area at our gym. We like launched it with 24-hour fitness. Like we're the ones who like came up with it, where we had turf and like these free motion machines and all this stuff that nobody else was doing.
Wow.
And then the industry, because of that, kind of crashed. Like as a personal trainer, right? Because then people were like starting to go to other places, right? CrossFit was invented, and then like you had all these group classes that kind of did all that stuff now. And so it got harder and harder to work at a box gym because they take, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, they take like 80% of what you bring in.
Oh, I believe it. Oh yeah, absolutely.
So like
I get it.
You have to meet these quotas, 10 grand a month. I'm like, well, I'm getting 3 grand a month and y'all are getting 10 grand a month. I'm like,
right.
Stupid. So that's when I left box gyms, and I was like, I don't even use machines. So why am I here really? Like I'm not, because I understand you can't open a gym with machines. There's thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars for those machines.
Oh, absolutely.
But then once you get into free weights, I mean, it's not that bad. So then I started going to people's houses to train them.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It was like back, and then 2008 hit. And gas prices were $5 a gallon, and nobody could afford a trainer anymore. Blah blah blah. The crash of the market happened.
Yeah.
But in between all this, I know this is like it's 20 years, so bear with me.
I want to hear it all. I think the guests would love to hear this all, man.
So people get injured, right? People get injured. And then that was their excuse not to train. So what was the first thing I did? I'm going to dive into keeping them training with me because I need the money. And it started from a point of like, I'm not losing my clients. So what do I need to learn? So they're leaving me to go do this. Well, I'm going to learn that. So they're not leaving me anymore, right?
Smart.
If they're injured and leaving me and they're going to Pilates because their back hurts, well, I'm going to go learn Pilates. Now they don't have to leave me. So that's kind of what started it, right?
Okay.
Like, no, I'm going to be your one-stop shop. I don't want you going anywhere else. I don't want to lose you to whatever.
Right.
And knowledge is power.
Yep.
So I got into Pilates. I got into corrective exercising. I got into the adaptive. I don't know if you've heard of the Adaptive Training Foundation.
No, not at all.
Really? Well, that's a whole other podcast. I don't want to give them any more clout than that. No, I'm just kidding. So
got it.
It was started here in Dallas. I'm just so blessed to be literally down the street from it. It's a great foundation where they take people. It started kind of ex-military, but it is now open to anyone with any disabilities, amputations, TBIs, neurological problems, doesn't matter. Anybody can go there, and like you get this sense of camaraderie, and they teach you that you can move and work out, and it's just like very empowering. So I started volunteering there as a trainer, and then that took off my adaptive training certifications because I have like 3 of those now.
Wow.
And then meanwhile I'm doing jiu-jitsu. Meanwhile I was boxing.
Okay,
and then
you were boxing first. How long did you box? I was
starting to get old. How long did I box? Not very long, because I was old when I started, right?
Okay, so that's all right.
And kind of in the boxing world, you're old very young. Like, you can't really compete. I did, Golden Gloves a couple times or whatever. And then you can kind of do Golden Gloves as you get older, but it's like 1-minute rounds. I mean, it's kind of dumb, right?
You can't do much in anything,
No, I did tough man competitions, whatever. And it just it's fun.
Wait, let's back up. Wait a minute. Don't just brush past that.
Oh.
You did tough man contests. I remember in Iowa when they first came out with the big one. Oh, there's a bunch of meatheads in there just clobbering
brawling on each other. That's exactly what it was. And so I was like, this is kind of dumb, because like, I'm not going to be a professional boxer. I really did it because here in Dallas, there's my friend, was a professional MMA fighter. So she would always be like, hey, because I would train with her for boxing, right? And she'd be like, well, why don't you come train with me? And when you find, I'm a big girl, like 160.
Okay.
5'11", and so
Yeah.
it's like you can't find girls our size, not
Right.
especially in the fighting world. But like the highest weight class in boxing is 145. So it's like I'm killing
Ugh,
myself to lose weight. It's
no.
ridiculous.
No.
So I was sparring with her all the time, and she's like, you really need to learn jujitsu because she's MMA, right? So she's like,
Right.
you come in for the striking part. I really do need you for the grappling part.
Right.
And she worked at a gym. It was a check mat. So I would
Yeah.
just go to classes, to try to
Yeah.
learn stuff for her. And that's pretty much how my jujitsu journey started. Like everybody around me in the combat world was like, you got to do jujitsu. You got to do
Yeah.
jujitsu. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
But at first you're like, I don't really want to do jujitsu because it looks really gross.
It is. It is. I think I spit on someone yesterday by accident too. I was, oh God, I'm so sorry.
I mean, especially when you're learning, because you're like, okay, get in this position and you're just going to come up all over my crotch. This is super weird. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like the first 4 classes, you're like, this is crazy. Why are
Yeah.
people doing this?
Right.
But, then I got tired of getting punched in the face all the time and like kicks in the face. I'm like, okay, well, maybe this will be a good avenue to do some combat sports, but I'm not getting punched in the face. Little
Yeah.
did I know white belts still punch you in the face till the end of time.
They still elbow, knees.
I think I get punched in the
Yeah.
face more because I can't see it coming.
You assume it's not going to happen, and oh, there it is.
Exactly. So,
Now,
and then with jujitsu comes a lot of injuries too. Anyway, so
yeah.
it's like very parallel. My life and my job have become very parallel to each other. So, like, what avenues I go to, pain-free
Right.
performance, because
Right.
everybody's injured, everybody's old, everybody freaks out about that, right? Everybody freaks out about injuries.
Oh yeah. Because especially at our age out there, especially if you've been somewhere like yourself and guys like myself and other people I know who's been like quote unquote, I'm putting quotation marks, athletes their whole life. And then you get to a certain point, you feel like I can't work out anymore. This hurts. I got to work out cautiously. Because now with my rolling and everything, I'm still rolling very cautiously because, it's not my life. I just don't want to be, out for a month or two, with injury.
Yeah.
So that's brilliant that you went into that.
So, and that's what, maybe I hope to educate you and maybe all of your listeners on is if you do the work on the back end, which is how you work out, you have, okay, I get into arguments a lot on social media about this because a lot of people are like, don't lift weights and train jujitsu. And I don't know where this came from. Oh yeah. Because they're like, you don't want to be I don't know if I should say this, but
Say it all.
I went to a Hodger Gracie seminar like last week, right? And someone asked him that question and he was like, don't lift heavy. And I was like,
why? What was the reason for it?
Because he's like, because they don't understand. Because they're just, and I'm not saying that like he's not good at jiu-jitsu and he's not the GOAT. He is.
Yeah.
And is his body fine? Sure. Yes.
Yeah.
But that's why it's important to have someone who's been the last 20 years submerged into the fitness community because the knowledge, that's why it's like, I can do my own taxes, right? You could do your own taxes, but why? When we could pay someone who knows how to get out of paying taxes, right?
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So it's like, so if you go to a professional and you hire a professional, they will teach you the proper way to do things where you don't, now not everybody's created equal, obviously, but
yeah, got it.
But people are afraid to lift because they're afraid that that's going to make them get more injured. And it's quite the opposite.
Right.
So if you work out properly, and it matters how, it matters order of exercises, it matters how you're programming it during the day, it matters like how you're doing it with your jujitsu working out. But if you do it, then you won't get injured on the mats.
Right. Makes sense. Now, what type of workout routine, let's say for somebody older, our age, walking into the gym, never touched anything. And I see that sometimes with Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. A lot of guys walk in, they've never touched it. What would be your suggestion when you take to those guys? I know everybody's different. Everybody's not, you're not writing prescription for everyone.
Yeah.
What do you do? What do you suggest?
So this is where the pain-free performance certifications, that's why I have so many of them. Amazing. So it really takes into account like the science behind orders of exercises. And most importantly, I know purple belts aren't going to like to hear this, but the warm-up.
Where's my buddy Vic? Where is he? Oh, okay, yeah.
So not only in jujitsu, I have a lot to say about the warm-ups we do in jujitsu, but anyway,
Yeah.
we'll get into that later. But
Yeah.
but the warm-up before you work out and lift weights, that's gonna be like 90% of your goals, because how you prime your body and your central nervous system is what keeps you from being injured.
Okay.
And
Okay.
so it's crazy if you learn the science behind it. And that's why, like, you do kind of need a professional, because I'm not saying you won't get results and you might not get hurt if you go into a gym and just do whatever you want. But
Right.
we call it a six phase dynamic warm up.
Okay.
You prime global patterns. So, like, you do a dead bug or something like that. Then you'll
Mhm.
do like prime your shoulders so that your bracing isn't, ready before you lift something heavy. And then you prime your central nervous system. So it's like quick explosive movements
Okay.
before you go lift heavy. I mean, it's crazy. You only do like
Wow.
three of each exercise, you know what I mean? It takes like 10 minutes, but it like has changed my whole world.
And those you're talking about before you touch weights, before you
Yep.
do anything. That's just walking
Yep.
in the gym, doing your thing. Oh,
Yep.
wow. Because I sit
I
there,
know.
I walk
I
in,
know.
I'll do toe touches. Oh, that
Ugh.
feels good. Let's get started.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what people don't understand. Like, same with jujitsu, I think that's why our
Yeah.
warm-ups, I think, are so crap. And I get it. People just like do it because they've been taught it, and everybody just regurgitates this information.
Yeah.
And there isn't a lot of trainers who are also professors.
Good point.
I mean,
Very good point.
I don't know why it hasn't married the worlds yet, but because
Yeah.
they're all just like really good jujitsu practitioners. Okay, this is what
Yeah.
works for them forever. But I don't
A
know,
lot of
why
time, I
not make
think,
it better?
well, I think they're coming in thinking just like, most martial artists, we're teaching guys how to fight, self-defend
Yep.
themselves. Yeah, you do your stretching on whatever, on your
Yep.
own time. We may stretch a little bit, but let's get to it. And I guess nothing's wrong with that, but I think they need all this stuff, especially as
Yep.
I'm learning this stuff as I'm getting older. Man,
Yep.
gosh, I wish I knew all that pain-free stuff before, man.
I
Holy
know, but it's never
cow.
too late. It's never too late. It really isn't. You can fix your body. I mean, our body's designed to heal, right? And
That's
that's
true.
why if people understood that movement is what heals you, they would be
Mhm.
less scared of lifting weights. You have to lift
Gotcha.
weights. You have to.
Gotcha. So I've heard this before. The lifting weights keep you young. I don't know if those are just little pop ups somewhere. But
Right.
that's the truth. Okay.
You think we're
Okay.
just making it up to get business, but
Well, yeah, sounds
No, I'm
good. It
just
sounds good in theory, but I can't get off the couch.
But like, especially if you're doing something think about it. If you go into jujitsu and you don't lift weights and you just rely on jujitsu as to be
Yeah.
your workout, like so you're doing an unstable, non-linear, explosive type movements all the time. That's crazy. Like you have to balance it with, I know this is going to sound real nerdy. I'm going to nerd out on you. Okay.
Hey, do it. Do it.
So we're taught there's quadrants basically. So everything you do, every movement fits into a quadrant: linear, non-linear, stable, unstable, right? Different
Yep.
planes of motion, blah, 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 right? So
Gotcha.
in layman's terms, like you're running in a straight line, you're squatting in a straight line, or you're doing like Bulgarian bag spins, which is like transverse, right?
Yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah.
So you need to check all the boxes all the time. If you
Okay.
want to get better at jujitsu, yeah, okay, do jujitsu. If you want to get not injured at jujitsu, you need to be strong in all the quadrants.
Okay.
So it's
Okay.
almost like people are afraid to cross train because they think that's going to take away from their jujitsu. But in the end, if you're strong in a stable environment, then when you go into an explosive, trying to get out of some 350-pound guy's side control movement,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
then you'll be strong in that movement. You know what I'm saying? It's like
Right.
you can't just train in an unstable, unvariable load. Like you're going to get injured 100%.
Wow. That's mind blowing. That really is. That really is. And you think when you take a client on, what do? Do you walk them through this whole process in the beginning to see how they move now and all that kind of stuff, or what do you do?
I mean, yeah. So when you get a new client, I mean, it just depends, right? Am I getting
Yeah.
them online? Because now the wave of the freaking future is this
Yep.
online training thing, which
Yep.
from being a personal trainer for so long, I didn't want to do it. I really fought
Yeah.
against it for a long time because you can't see them. You can't
Right.
really do an assessment. I mean, sometimes I'll get the hybrid clients who will come in person and I'll do an assessment and then write their program for them. I prefer that.
Gotcha.
But
Gotcha.
sometimes you'll just won't see anyone. Like I have a jujitsu program that I have online. not to plug myself or whatever,
Yeah,
but I
plug
will.
yourself. What
I
is it?
will. I have a
Yeah.
jujitsu program. It's only $50 a month. It's like kind of a contract. It just goes forever and it renews every 4 weeks. You get a new program, and it's just written as if you are kind of a healthy jujitsu practitioner. So I never see your
Okay.
body. I don't see them. They give me feedback, via text messages or whatever, and I can kind of modify stuff. But if you're doing it properly, it can fit everybody. So like if someone comes to me with an injury, they have to come in, obviously,
Right.
right?
Right. Right.
Adaptive clients, they need to come in so I can see where they're at and do assessments on them. But if it's just like an average gen pop person who wants to just be better at jiu-jitsu, I don't necessarily need to see how they move because it
Okay.
kind of explains itself.
Okay. Okay. Gotcha. So your program is not starting for the, how do I say, not the, it's the person that just like the online program just by
Yeah.
itself on online. Online is just for, hey, I'm already kind of in shape. I just want
Yeah.
to add something more.
Or you just
Okay.
want knowledge of how to work out and be, pain-free and
Okay.
longevity in jiu-jitsu. That's what
Okay.
I wrote it for. Was people who, if you do jujitsu and you don't know what to do in the gym, that's what I wrote it for, basically.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yep.
What's the name of the program? Shoot that
Well,
out
I mean,
there.
it just says, it's like through my website. It's literally just says
Okay.
online programming, jujitsu.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I'm
Over
really
there
good at
at
technology.
teamhicksfitness.com. You can find that, guys. Okay.
I know.
Hey,
It's
I
great.
feel you. I feel you. Now, by you being so much into the fitness and to the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or grappling and sports and all that, the fighting arts as I call it. Now, do you have a problem with how do I say keeping yourself as healthy, even though you know all the stuff to do? You know what I mean?
I know people aren't going to believe this, but someone actually asked me the other day, you train this hard every day? I do jujitsu 6 days a week.
Wow.
I do high intensity interval training in the morning, jujitsu at lunch, and then weight training at night, 6 days a week.
Holy cow.
And
Wow.
Pilates too. I do like 4 times a week. So I do
Wow.
train hard every single day and I am never injured. I'm not saying I'm not sore and tired, but I'm
Well,
never
yeah.
injured. Never.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Well, that a testament to your craft, right?
So I mean,
Wow.
I guess it works.
Right. You're not just making it up as you go. Got it. Wow. Now, when you got into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, what was your first walking on the mat? What did it feel like? I know you said before, this is weird.
It's super
These guys
weird.
are gross and all this other stuff. What
I think
what went through your head after the psychotic stuff went out of your head?
I think what happened was the first time I felt like I actually escaped death.
Okay.
You know how like when the first time you're doing it, people just, I don't know why they're not very, back then. I don't know if it's different now, but
Yeah.
nobody was really nice to the white belts. They just murder.
Yeah, grind
We
them
just got
out, the
thrown to
whole
the
thing.
wolves. And I'm like, this freaking 16-year-old kid is like beating me up and I don't know what's going on. I have no idea how to stop it. But then the
Right.
drive to like learn how to stop it, that's what kept me going. I was like, I'm not gonna let this little punk beat me. I don't know. It's just, I guess the chess of it all. Can I survive? How do I do under those intense pressure moments? I mean, boxing really isn't like that. To me,
Right.
it was a whole different world. Boxing is like checkers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You have
Well,
7
yeah.
punches, that's it. And you counter them. And
Yep.
then
Jab,
you
cross,
go, I go,
uppercut.
you go, I go. It's like
Yeah. I feel you.
it's not hard to anticipate what they're going to do. They're probably going to punch you. That's probably what they're going to do.
Right. Let's
But
get to Muay Thai. Then it's different. Some elbows and
oh
everything
God,
else.
my
Oh,
damn
geez.
legs never worked. I could not figure out. I think because I boxed for so long, when I tried Muay Thai, my coach would be
Yeah.
like, "Use your legs." I'm like, "Use my
Yeah,
legs.
I am
Use my legs.
standing
Use
on
my
them. What
legs."
do you mean? I'm standing. I'm using them. What are you talking about?
I'm like, but if I pick one up, I might fall. No,
Right.
it's fine. I don't think I'm not very good at takedowns. I hope no one's listening to this that's in Master Worlds, but I think it's the same problem because you have to do that whole like stand on one leg and
Yeah, and do the throw and to lean into it. So are you a guard puller or butt
I
scooter as we
am.
call it? Okay.
I am, but I do get grips first, so I'm not a butt scooter.
Okay, you don't just start as soon as they say go, you drop to your butt and scoot across the mat,
I
chase
do
the guy down.
IBJJF rules in guard pulling. I think that funny you want to talk about guard pulling because I really do want
Yeah.
to talk about that.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
I think the people who talk shit about guard pulling have terrible guards. And I know that
Could be,
sounds
yeah.
like I'm just blanketing that statement, but like, did you watch the CGI? Did you
I
watch any
sure
of that?
did. I
I
sure did.
mean,
With
how can
Tolo
you
and
hate that
yeah.
guy for guard pulling? Look at his
I,
guard. Nobody could pass it.
but on the other side of that, I watched that and thinking he's not really. I know what he's doing. So he's doing things. Don't get me wrong. He's defending. But he did a couple attacks. But I know it for the fans. You want excitement. You want at that level, $1 million on the line. Let's fight. Well, why would he change his whole game up? I get that, but
I know.
I'm like, what's he doing? Get up! I know. I was screaming at the television.
I mean,
too.
I get it both ways, but you got to think jiu-jitsu is a sport. I mean, obviously,
Yes.
if I'm going to fight in the streets, I'm not going to use jiu-jitsu. I'm probably going to punch him or shoot him. There's not going to be any jiu-jitsu
and be
going
done
on.
with it.
This
That's right.
is Texas. You know what I mean? So, like, when people are like, oh, you wouldn't butt scoot. I'm like, yeah, because that's not what I'm doing here, though. We're just, like, playing a sport. I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, it's like the guard is dominant, right? Because what do you do? The person on bottom is in guard. The person on top, what do? They have to pass your guard.
They have to pass your guard. Yeah.
You're already in a more advantageous position. So why would you give that up? I don't know.
Yeah, but I get it. Like I said, there's two sides to everything, and I understand that. It's just for watching those, it was just frustrating for me because I like throws and I like all that stuff.
Oh,
and
yeah.
watching that excitement of a
well, then
oh
watch
my
judo,
gosh.
okay? No,
Right, exactly. Oh, I love judo. Oh my gosh, but some of their rules have changed too. I'm like, come on, you can't spike a guy in the ground.
I know it's getting softer. You can't paralyze them anymore. What's this
Right? What's going on? So your game plan is you pull guard and you do
Don't say my whole game plan.
Well, no one.
No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not going to put this out until afterwards. No, I'm just joking.
There you go. It's no surprise. Yes, everybody knows I'm a guard puller. Everybody makes fun of me. I don't care.
Well, that's okay. If it work, does it work for you?
Yeah, I mean that's the cool
There it
thing.
is.
So like I'm tall, and like Hodger Gracie closed guard system all day. That's just my jam. I love it.
Gotcha. That's all right. Ain't nothing
But
wrong with that.
I play gi. I'm not really a no gi person. I don't like it. I don't like it at all.
I don't do it either. My buddy, she said, keep doing. You gotta do no gi. No,
it's just so wet.
They're like, what's gonna be get on the stair? Oh, yeah, it is. Oh my gosh, it's so gross.
Ugh, it's so much.
I know. My buddy's like, what are you gonna do if someone attacks you on the street? I'll put my gi on and then fight them. How about that?
I mean, but like, are people walking around naked? What do we think? We're fighting at the beach? Somebody's wearing clothes of some sort, right?
Right.
This is crazy.
That's what trunks are for, grabbing.
Good God. I don't care if you're wearing a t-shirt. I'm going to grab something other. It doesn't. But here's the funny thing. I think you can be really, really good at gi, never train no gi, and still do no gi. I mean, it's very applicable.
Well, a lot of guys at our gym do that. A lot of guys, they do gi, then they'll go to no gi and do well, and it's all that,
So I'm pretty sure if we got attacked in the streets, we'd be okay. I mean, I'm not relying on my grips on,
I'm going to the tools and dropping a dude. I'm shooting somebody.
Excuse me, could you put on this jacket first? Then I can choke you. Thank you.
Right. Wouldn't that be great though? If you could start a fight out like that.
That's kind of why I want to do that car jiu-jitsu. I know I really want to do that.
I saw that. The fighting in the car and all that stuff.
I feel like I'd be really good at it.
Oh my! I'm like, have you seen the place in Vegas where they do the? I don't know if they still have it, but I saw it like a year or so ago, maybe 2 years ago. I saw it where they, you go in the room, everyone's tacked up, you have your guns, everything else. Of course, you're not shooting, real bullets.
Damn it!
I know, right? And so you fight the other team, you're shooting the guys, and then once you're out of ammo, you got to go hand-to-hand combat.
Oh, I like that.
Oh my gosh. You got to look it up. I think it's still out there. I think it's still out in Vegas.
I bet you they're wearing clothes too, aren't they?
They are.
Cargo pants. I bet you grab those.
No, you got to strip down to your underwear and fight,
Exactly. Now get naked and go. I mean, it's so ridiculous. I know it's like they're so extreme the other way. They're like, well, it's more like the streets. Nobody's walking around in rash guards. I'm sorry. It's ridiculous.
All sweaty and gross.
Except Danaher, he is, but
Lord. Well, he's got to get through the talking first. Anyway, I'm not knocking anybody. I love everybody.
We should say that. I had trouble sleeping the other night, and I put on a Danaher.
No.
Yeah, because he'll put you right to sleep with the talking. I'm like, it's so soothing. I can't learn anything, but I can go right to sleep. It's great.
Right? He's like, how you do a single leg? Oh, well, let's talk about it. Oh, God.
So back in the 1900s.
When they invented legs. No,
Exactly.
Let's stop before we get shot. Oh, my gosh. I'll roll on that. But so when you're out there like I said, you're a guard puller. I want to talk more about the guard pull, not because it's your game, because just for me, seriously, I know some
Well,
guys
and
probably
people
listen to
talk
this
shit
because
about
I
it,
want
right?
to. Well, absolutely, but I do want to understand it. I understand it. I trust me. I get it to a certain point.
Are you a
Because if that's
wrestler?
no, I'm just to get on top of you and sweat on you.
Oh, yeah, that's a good
And
plan, though.
press. Yeah, just
It's not a
hold.
bad plan.
Exactly. I want to pressure and sweat.
I'd
Make
say
it gross.
that is the downfall of guard pulling is sweat in my mouth.
Yeah.
Sweat, other people sweat in my mouth, not mine.
Oh God.
My
Yeah.
eyes. I get that a
Yeah.
lot. And my
Yeah.
ears.
Oh God, I know. Like I said yesterday, I spit on someone back. It dripped out of my mouth, and it was a girl. I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so
It's
sorry. I'm
always
so sorry.
well, it's because she's probably playing guard, right?
Yeah, she
Um,
was. I was like, I'll get her off her back. Yeah. No, that's gross.
yep. I think that a lot of people are afraid to pull guard because I'm not saying because maybe everybody's guard isn't good, but if you don't know what you're doing there, then you will just get smashed and passed, right?
Right. Right.
So I'm not even afraid to pull guard on like a 300-pound man. And actually, I prefer it because I don't want to be taken down and squished under both of our weights. That sounds terrible.
Okay.
I don't want to be double legged. And that's usually what people love to do. I mean, that just hurts. And you end up in a terrible position. I don't want to end up in someone's side control. So I pull guard so that I can be in an advantage position and I already know what I'm going to do. Like, you don't have to pull to close. So if like it's a big guy, I'll pull to usually my foot in the hip so I can keep him away from me.
Okay.
You know, and then just depends what they do, obviously, blah, 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 jujitsu. But
Yeah, I get it. I
don't know. I like to create distance with it. I trust my guard. I like my guard. I don't love being squished under people.
Okay. I hate that too, but it happens a lot.
That happens a lot? Oh, no. What belt are you?
Oh, I'm a blue belt. That's it.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I've been in martial arts since I was 8 in some form. You know, if you I don't know if you listen to the first podcast, you know, black belt in Kodokan, Hapkido, did judo, Muay Thai, did all the stuff. This is in the last few years I got into Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. You know why I didn't want to get in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the beginning?
Touchy?
No. Well, I did judo. I loved it all. The people were dicks that I ran into. No joke. And I mean, gosh. And I went to different places. Let me try some of this, you know, and they were just dicks. I hear you in the black belt and something else. They're like, all right, let's fight. I'm like, I'm not. I don't know this. But then I found a place, Lake County Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I fell in love with those guys. And that's where I train now.
It really does matter. The community, I'm telling you, like the vibe of the place. And that's why I tell people all the time, you need to go to a couple, especially in Dallas. We're a very saturated market here.
Oh, I bet.
I mean, there's like jujitsu gyms on every corner. So like you're not stuck. I know some small towns, they have no choice, right? They have to go. There's only one place or whatever. But like here, there's 9,000 of them. So it's like, just go. If you don't like the vibe, go to a different one. And you know, I tell people that a good green flag for any gym is female instructors.
Really?
Well, because think about it. We're not going to go to a gym that's toxic.
Good point.
Very,
very good point.
Because we're the ones that get the brunt of it. If anything, if you have a bad instructor, I mean, as far as like, okay, so women tend to be more technical because we have to be. Because we can't rely on our strength over technique, you know? We can't be a high-calorie freaking jiu-jitsu athlete. Like, it just doesn't work for us. Whereas I've seen some black belts just get through it with their strength over technique, right?
Oh, yeah. They're everywhere. I get it.
So we have to be more technical. We obviously get, I'm not saying me or it happens to me, but in the gym culture, sometimes sexually harassed.
Yeah. There was a time that was going like all the time out there. So I was reading those all over the place, which is stupid.
Well, and it still is. You know what I mean? Because that's what I'm saying. Like I don't know if it's culture or just because nobody's policing it, really. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're just allowing it to happen or not knowing that it's happening or whatever. But like a females won't deal with that. If they sense that in the gym, they'll leave.
Yeah.
Or they've been harassed, so they leave. So it's like if you have a high level, a higher belt female in your gym, it's probably a good place to train.
You know what? And we have that at our place. I tell you, Patty, she's the Carlos and Patty run it together, husband and wife. And,
I love that. That's my favorite. That's how my gym is too.
Yeah. Oh, that is perfect. You know, Carlos is the grizzly bear that growls all the time, and Patty's the one that keeps the heart in the gym.
She's the boss.
And she keeps people there.
You're right. I know my professor's always like, "Let me ask the boss." I'm like, "That's right, you ask the boss."
Exactly. But that's what turned me on. You know, because I have
everybody's like, jiu-jitsu, there's no ego. I'm like, have you been to
Shit.
jiu-jitsu
Oh my
like
God, it
gyms?
was such
'Cause
ego.
that's not really how, and that's not even how it started. Like, that's not how the Gracies were at all. So I don't know, what is that, like a marketing tool somebody's come up with? Like, I say this in fitness too, right? Like,
Yeah.
okay, so back in the, not to digress a little bit, but this is kind of the same thread. So remember when everybody was like, you have to squat like this and your feet have to be
Yes.
like this and you
Yes.
can't go below your knees and your toes
Oh
knees
yeah.
can't go over your chest. Okay. So
Yep.
well, we've all really debunked that with science because everybody is different. I'll just give you an example. Hip replacements, okay? They replace the top of your femur, right? There
Right.
is like over 900 different variations of hip replacements. So that
What?
means there's that many different kinds of hips in the world. Okay.
Holy cow.
Right. So nobody's hips are the same. How are we telling people to squat the same? That's ridiculous.
Yeah. Don't
So
go over your
same,
knees. Don't do this. Oh
exactly.
yeah.
So
Oh my
same with
gosh. Yeah.
jujitsu.
Yeah.
You know, you're 5'2" and you're trying to tell me when I'm almost 6 foot tall that that's going to work for me, or vice versa, right? Like,
Exactly.
you're a 6 foot tall instructor, and this is my problem with like the industry in general, not just jujitsu, but fitness. Like,
Yeah.
this is what the problem I have with boxing too. You're a short instructor, you're a good boxer, let's say you are, but you only know the short man's game. You play inside
That's
because
it.
you're
You
short,
have to. Yeah.
right?
Yep.
Okay, so
Exactly.
but if I'm tall, why are you teaching me that? I'm going to get murdered.
Trying to come in on somebody.
So it's like, just because you're good at your craft doesn't mean you're a good instructor. So it's like, you got to know, and this is where I think it's cool that I get to use my background in bodies and like
Yeah.
seeing, I mean, we have like adaptive jujitsu athletes that don't have legs or, you know, whatever. So
Right.
it's like, I get to use my knowledge of bodies. And like when I'm teaching jujitsu, it's the same thing as far as my
Wow.
training goes. Okay, so for you, it might be more like this, this, and this because your body type. Or why don't
Right.
you do it and see how it feels for your body? Like,
Yeah.
there's no right or wrong. Did you toss the person, they fell on the ground? That's right then. I don't understand how that could be wrong.
Yeah. Oh.
Ugh.
So now you're training for Worlds.
Ugh,
You're getting
yeah.
ready for Worlds, and how many competitions have you done before we go there? How many
I
train?
actually hate competing. So,
Okay.
but for some reason I get bullied into it a lot. I don't know why that happens. I've competed. I'm actually staring at all my medals right now. A
Yeah.
lot more than I've ever wanted to, for sure. I think
Okay.
at each belt I do like 3-4 competitions. So, you know,
Right.
because how, I don't know how else, you know, because as a female, obviously, and a
Yeah.
big one, there's not very many girls. And this is the problem my sparring partner had, you know, there's just not very
Yeah.
many of us the same size. So how do I know if I'm good?
Right.
I mean,
Right.
maybe I'm good, but maybe I'm suck. I don't know.
Yeah, well, maybe everybody in the gym's just been nice to me and let me submit them all the time.
I'm like, I don't, when I go against like my black belt instructors, I'm like, I don't know jujitsu. What am I doing? This is the most
Yeah.
ridiculous thing ever because
Yeah.
it's funny, once you get a black belt, it really is like being a white belt.
Oh yeah. Oh
It's
yeah.
hard to explain to people, but it was like, I was feeling good at brown belt. Like, I freaking loved brown belt. I was finally like putting the whole game together. I felt like, you know, I got this like system, like, you know,
Yeah.
connecting concepts. And then I get my black belt, and every single black belt is like murder, murder, murder. Oh, you think that they don't know that's coming? They taught you that. They're going to use the counter to that. And I'm like, oh my God. And it just got so hard. Like, jujitsu got so much worse. I was like, wow, this is like being a white belt all over again. I'm
This
getting
will be a
murdered.
cakewalk now. Nope.
Because now it's like every black belt wants to roll with you.
Yeah.
Because look, honestly, even if you don't know, you know, black belts are safe. They're not going to hurt you. So
Oh yeah.
being old, right? You don't,
Yeah.
being the old person in the gym, you're like, the white belt trial guy, I don't want to roll with him. He's going to kick me in the face,
Exactly.
break my damn nose. I don't want to do it. I don't want to.
Exactly.
So, you know, you're safe with black belts, right?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I tell all the guys, man, if you're trying new techniques, not YouTube crap, try them on a black belt. Roll with, if they're rolling with you, try the stuff. You're gonna get tapped anyway.
The problem when you get better and then you try more stuff, then they get better and they try more
Yeah.
stuff, and you're like, good God, nothing works. And I'm like,
and can I turn my belt back in?
because my professor is like a 5th degree, 6th degree, I don't know, so ridiculous. Like, he's
Yeah.
been a black belt for over 20 years, like a black belt for
Wow.
over 20 years.
Wow.
So, and he also has a degree in kinesiology and a fitness degree from Brazil.
Oh
Like,
wow.
that's what he did when he was over there. So It sucks. I can't. I got nothing on him.
Oh, wow. That's pretty cool, though. And he's in the fitness, too. Like you were just saying, boy,
Yeah.
more professors be fitness. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I mean, so he knows like all the Brazilian or Portuguese words for like body parts. It's pretty cool. I like it.
Yeah. They just talk gibberish when I hear them. I say, what'd you say?
Did you know
I know what you're saying.
omoplata? Did you know omoplata is just the shoulder blade? Did
Is
you know
that
that?
what it is? The shoulder blade? Okay.
Yeah.
No.
It's
Now I
just
do.
Portuguese for shoulder blade.
Okay.
I know. I was like,
What is go-go plot? Is that just for the foot on
that's
neck?
a made up 10th point at something.
There you go.
They just make up like Panda Express.
Yeah.
I don't know what's good. They
The
smoke a lot
electric
of pot.
chair. Oh,
And
my
then I have
God.
another professor who is like, doesn't say names of anything. He's like, I don't know. It's a sweep. Doesn't care at all. The professor that I have my black belt under, he's also a black belt in judo.
Yeah.
And obviously he's been like in jiu-jitsu. So he speaks Japanese. We bow in with Japanese words.
Nice.
I mean,
Nice.
it's ridiculous. And so when I
Oh.
do it, I'm like, and bow in? Because I don't know any of that. I'm like, I'm
Just gotta
struggling
mumble
with
it.
English over here. Sheesh.
You just gotta mumble. Don't know what you come back. What do you say?
I'm like, in sushi? I don't know
Right?
what we're saying.
Oh, man. So I don't know if anybody wants to. I don't know if you want anybody to hear this, but I'm gonna ask anyway.
Yeah.
What's your challenge getting ready for Worlds this time?
Well, I hate competing.
Okay, you said
So
that.
that's
You
a
did say that.
challenge.
You did say that. Yeah.
I don't like I'm not scared. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just don't like the nerves leading up to it. And I think this comes from the striking backgrounds, because preparing for striking competitions was very nerve-wracking because you
Yeah.
literally can get hurt. You
Yeah.
don't, I mean, I haven't really
Yeah.
been hurt in jiu-jitsu. So
Yeah.
like I don't know why I have that same like, oh my God, I'm gonna get punched in the face feeling. But I think it might be
Yeah.
because that's where I started.
That could be.
I don't
Okay.
know. I don't like the anxiety. I think because I'm a high strung person, and my husband will attest to this. I live
Yeah.
at like a 15
Oh,
all the time. Like
oh
I'm
my
just
God.
very
That
high
poor
strung.
guy.
And
Poor
so,
guy.
and I know my husband's the most laid back person in the world. Nothing bothers him. Even things that should bother him doesn't bother him. He's just
He's like,
like, whatever.
whatever.
So he's an adrenaline junkie. Like
Okay.
he races dirt bikes. He's 53 and he's still competitively racing like motocross.
Oh,
I
wow.
know. He just loves adrenaline. And I'm like, I hate adrenaline because it feels like anxiety to me. I'm like,
Yeah.
but that's the only struggle. Really, that's it. I'm just
Okay.
like, I don't like it.
Then you go in there and compete and like
And
you
that's
feel
fine.
better.
Yes. And I always have a great time. And I've never been hurt. It's never
Yeah.
like scary. I do well. I don't know why I freak out about it, but
Well, it's probably I don't know. Like you said,
mental
you
health
start.
issues. I don't.
Well, shit. That's the case. We all got that problem.
I just think
Real-
some people like that adrenaline, and I
Yeah.
just really am not an adrenaline junkie. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. But I mean, I don't have any fear of like rolling with 300-pound black belt, collegiate
Yeah.
wrestlers. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
What makes it that next change though? When you're rolling with somebody, it's a little bit different than competing with somebody. You know what I mean?
maybe, but guys
because on
hurt
the
me
mat.
a lot.
Yeah. That's, okay. Good point. Good
Maybe
point.
because you're a guy, it's different. But like, that whole y'all don't really get it, but testosterone is really a gift from God.
Oh, it is. We
Uh,
designed that way. We
it
are.
is I'm like, I'm strong and I work out all the time. And these people can be like weak, never work out at all. And I'm like, seems like when I roll with girls, they just roll so different too. And I
Yeah.
think that it's kind of like the world of the unknown because there's not a lot of females to roll with my size. I'm not saying there's
Yeah.
not little ones around. There is. But then that feels easy to me, right? Because then I'm
Oh, yeah.
smashing them and then I get to use my strength over technique, which is kind of fun.
Yeah.
Um,
Got it.
but it's like, I don't know. Like, I guess I am strong when I get with girls, but my everyday training, I don't feel strong.
Yeah, well, I get it. There's people in your gym. You're talking about girls and stuff. It's Nefeli Papadakis from the Olympic team. She's at our gym, and I had her on a podcast a couple weeks ago.
Cool.
And Nefeli's like 5. I'm gonna get it way wrong, but I think she's 5'5", 5'6", or
Just
whatever.
don't make
it
her
is.
bigger.
Yeah, no, but she's mean, man. She's the sweetest thing you ever met until you lock on with her.
I love
It-
that.
But usually when you're a guy, you roll with women. And no, I'm not saying women can't handle you because there's plenty of women at our dojo that can kill me. But
Yes.
you go a little softer. You're not trying to smash. You're trying to use your technique.
Yeah.
But when I roll with Nefeli, I'm fighting for my life. So I'm
You
like,
have to use your strength.
please let an elbow slip in on her and hit her in the head. She'll pass out or something, you know? Oh my God. She's a monster. Man.
I know that is weird. I don't know if you want to touch on that, but maybe since
Yeah.
I'm a female and
Yeah.
we're here, how do you feel about the rolling with females thing? Like, is that like a thing?
Yeah.
Because I'm a female, so I don't really know how y'all
Well,
feel
yeah,
about
I'll
it.
tell you. I can only tell you from experience that I've had throughout my life of doing Kodokan Jiu-Jitsu and judo and those things when you compete with women, and now I'm being a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu at our location. The mindset, they're still a partner.
Right.
I just got to be softer with
Mhm.
that partner. But everyone enjoys rolling with the ladies. The lady enjoys with the men. And I haven't seen or heard of anything weird. You
Right.
know what I'm getting at. You know what I'm
So,
getting
like,
at.
I fell down the rabbit hole. I don't know, all these freaking Facebook groups. I think the same one I found you on. They always
Yeah.
talk about that, like people being weird about it or whatever.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could see like if you were 200 plus pounds as a man and she was
Yeah.
like 100 pounds as a woman. But like for me, I don't know, I'm bigger than most guys.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm like 160, almost 6 foot tall, right? And
Right.
so I have this professor, he'll say, watch your power with the ladies. Okay, right.
Yeah.
Watch your power with the ladies. But he says to me, watch your power. I'm like, me? Watch my power?
Why would you tell them?
I'm like, no. I'm using my power. That's all I got. I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
So like I haven't experienced it, I think because of my size.
Yeah.
Obviously, I don't think I'm as intimidating or like I guess I am intimidating. I guess I'm not
Yeah,
like
you would be.
oh my
Yeah.
God, I'm gonna hurt her. I think more guys here's the part that sucks about it. Because I'm big and scary, if you get a white belt, oh my God, they spat. Like a white belt man cannot handle me getting anything on them. They freak out mentally,
And they still do it at every level.
emotionally,
Well, emotionally.
and then they lose their mind.
They do the big jerky movements and the spasm.
Oh my
Yeah,
God. And so I'm like, I don't want to roll with that white belt. Or I'm like, okay, let's work on something specific. I don't know. It's kind of weird, right? Or guys
Yeah.
will freak out if they touch your boobs.
We may
So,
push along
okay,
lower,
like
but
I'm a guard
it
player.
happens.
If you're
It
not putting
happens.
your hands on my lapel where my boobs
Yeah.
are, like you're never going to get out of my guard, right? Because you
Yeah.
have to frame.
Yep.
And they're always like,
exactly.
or because I'll pull them down, I'll break their posture, their face lands on my boobs. Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. I'm like, oh my God. Can you not make this a thing? Like
Now that makes it weird. That does.
I
Saying
know.
sorry.
Or if I get into like let's say people who don't want to fight out of closed guard, they just lay on you, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna get an overhook and do a punch choke or whatever, and they'll
Yeah.
be like, "Well, there's easier ways to get me to motorboat you," or to make some stupid fucking comment
What?
like that. And I'm like,
That's
if
just
you
stupid.
just wouldn't stall in my closed guard, you would be
Yeah.
posturing up
Well-
and getting out. Like,
And that comment should never happen. That just makes it weird.
but I think
You
it's
know?
because they feel they don't know how to react because they're getting beat.
Yeah.
I don't think that they
it
really
could be an
mean
ego
it
thing.
sexually. I think they're trying
No.
to be like jovial because they're getting beat by a girl and they can't handle it.
Anyone say when they're going with the lady, say, "Oh, I'm sorry about that." It's when we poke you in the eye by accident. You know what I
Fucking
mean?
poking me in the eye. Don't
Yeah,
even
or
start
whatever.
poking in the eye. Because I have eyelash extensions and I
Oh, Lord.
really get very angry about that. I'm like, what move in jiu-jitsu are they like, and now poke them in the eye? That's not a thing.
That's master level. You don't know nothing about that.
I'm like, you can smother me, fine. Don't poke me in the eye. Like, it really pisses me off.
See, you get mad, you just kill some white belt. Like, oh my God, I broke another one, coach.
There's this black belt. He'll like hold me in a position and then like tickle my eyelashes just to fuck with me. Like, he's like,
Oh
I'm
my
like, get off my
God.
eyelashes.
But you know what? That makes a lot of sense, though. I mean, when there's another person on the lap, male, female, whatever, you just got to roll. But you have to be smart, though. You do. You just got to
I
understand.
guess.
I can't
like to
smash
use-
this lady. You know.
I mean, sure, yeah, especially if they're little, right? But
Yeah.
but they say in their marketing tools that jiu-jitsu is for the small person.
That's true.
Remember how they use that as one of their
Yeah.
the gentle art? This is all the
Yeah.
marketing, right? The
Gentle my
art.
ass.
There's no ego. It's for small people. I mean, whoever came up with their marketing, genius, though.
Right.
Genius.
All these little ladies walking in. This is for me. Yay!
Please,
And I'm dying.
no, but technically, you should be able to get out of someone's much larger than you side control,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
if you do have even if you are little, you should be, could help you. Because if
Yeah.
they're smashing so much, get out the back door. You know what I mean? Like there's
Yeah.
always ways to get out of it. So I don't like it when people, I mean, obviously there's a difference between just laying there doing nothing and using jiu-jitsu, but
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything wrong with pressure. I like it.
No.
I think that
Yeah.
it should be, And I'll use like y'all's anatomy against you.
Yeah.
Hard shin right up the crotch, like breaking guard. I grab the pants and just shove it up as far as I can. Like I'm
It's
gonna
called
use.
technique, lady.
Yep, exactly. I'm like, sorry for your balls,
Right?
but I
Well,
made
you
you
know,
open your guard.
right? Thanks for the high pitched voice. We're good now.
It's like y'all have this respect amongst each other to not like mess with your balls. I don't have that, so I'm
Oh,
like,
wait, no, there's no respect anyway.
is
You know how
it
many times
not?
I've been knee slide through the balls and
Oh,
everything
really?
else? Oh,
Y'all aren't
it
cautious
happens.
about that?
Well, it's one of those things. Well, if it happens, that means I should have moved faster. You know what I mean?
Hmm. Hmm.
It
I mean,
happens, man.
you know that like headquarters stance where like you're,
Yes.
dude, I will lay my freaking shin on your balls as long as you like. I don't care. I'm gonna put pressure there until you decide to move.
Until
Like,
you move. That's right. Either you're uncomfortable or you're not.
and it's funny because past like I would say purple and up,
Yeah.
it doesn't bother. Like, there's no more balls anymore. Like, you lose the sensitivity. I don't know what happens, but I can't give you the science behind it. But for some reason, it doesn't bother them.
I know. You know, and I wish there was is there a cup you can wear? There's no cup you can
No,
wear in
because
Brazilian
that
Jiu-Jitsu.
hurts.
Yeah.
That hurts
Yeah.
you. I mean, it hurts other people. I guess
Yeah.
legally you can't like in competitions wear them. And like, there's
Right.
some people in the gym that I have experienced that before. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're just kind of a dick. Now you're just throwing the cup in my face. Like you're just
Now that's
poking
going to
me in
hurt
the eye
you.
with it.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, because all these martial arts, I come to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu with a cup on the first time I'm rolling and doing stuff. And Carlos looks over at me because I'm adjusting myself after the roll. He says, "Are you wearing a cup?" I was like, "Yeah." He said, "Take that damn thing off." I'm like, "What? My balls?" He's like, "You can't get away with that."
Don't you worry.
I
They'll
know.
get seasoned after a while, and you
Right?
won't feel it anymore.
Right? And the funny thing, after I'm walking off the mat, he said, take that damn thing off. And so I get up and go take the cup off, and I'm going to the bathroom, and he said, and wash your hands afterwards. I laughed so hard. I was like, jeez. Thanks for yelling that across the room. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yes, thank you.
That's great.
Oh, man. But you know what? Just listening to you, and this is what I think martial arts is. And no joke, that everyone has a good time. It really is. And regardless of the martial, well, I can't say regardless of the martial art, but for most of the martial arts that I've been involved in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is the accumulation. What's the word I'm thinking of?
You get it.
I'll get it. Yeah, that's it. That's that fancy
Yeah.
word.
Who thinks that I got the word right? That's good. Look at me.
There you go. I'm going to go with it. It combines it all, and it's just the friendships I've made over there. Because at my age, you know, I've been semi-retired for 10 years.
Semi-retired.
Yeah, I still got other companies and stuff, blah, blah, blah. And so I keep saying I'm going to move to my favorite place on earth is Tennessee. So I'm in Illinois.
Really?
Yeah. So I keep saying I'm going to move there. But the only thing literally keeping me here is our gym. No joke. The relationships I've made there and stuff. But trust me, I'm gone a lot because I take a lot of vacations.
Yeah. Oh, that's not good for jiu-jitsu.
I know. I keep coming back, and Carlos is like, "You got to start over again, right?"
Yep.
Like, yeah, I know. And it sucks.
Yep.
But you know, but it's what it is. It's about that.
Yeah.
I think when the grappling sport, you get to have much more of a camaraderie because there's two people.
Yeah.
Just training each other. You know what I mean?
It's so hard to explain it to people that have never done it. And it's not like anything else you've ever done. Not any other sport. It doesn't matter what it is. It's like, I mean, boxing, fine, you're friends, okay. Working out together, okay, you're friends. But there's something about murdering people.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. It's so hard to explain, but it's like, you're trying to murder me, I'm trying to murder you. And for some reason, that just makes us really close friends. I was trying to explain this to my husband because it's real hard for him. I hope he never hears this. Because I'm a female, obviously, and there's not any other really females at the gym. If you think about it, I'm usually the only one. I'm usually teaching. And so like my friends are guys, but he doesn't, you know, we're not supposed to be friends with guys, right?
Yeah, I get it.
But it's hard. I'm like, you don't understand. Like we do combat together. Like we're homies.
We try to kill each other.
I don't want to have sex with them. They're like, you know, I want to murder them. It's a different relationship.
When I'm mad at you at home, honey, I want to go to the gym and beat these guys up.
I'm like, it brings joy to me to submit them and bring life out of their body. That brings me joy. I don't know. It's hard. It is really hard to explain to people that violence is a love language.
Well, it is. That's pretty cool. But you know, that goes to one of my questions already. You answered it. I was going to ask you, is your husband doing it with you? So no, he doesn't,
No.
huh?
Well, like I
No.
said, he races motocross, and so you think that we're injured? I mean, he can't like move. He's had so many broken bones and pins, and I mean, he couldn't do it. There's just no
Wow.
way he could even get. I don't even think he could get down on his knees and do that. I mean, he's just so
Oh,
broken
man.
from motocross, you know.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
he likes that a lot, and he doesn't have time for jujitsu either. He has to pay the bills, so.
He said, go make my money.
But I think like he goes to all this stuff. Like every time my professor, he competes all the time. We're always going. So, you know, he's friends with the people at my gym, and, you know,
Yeah.
he knows everybody. I try to include him because I don't want him to think it's weird all the time, you know. I'm
Yeah.
like, they're my homies. You got to meet my homies, you know.
That's cool.
Because we are like a family. We're all going to Vegas together.
Yeah. Yeah. Is your
For
husband
Master
going with
Work-
you?
Oh yeah, like he already planned.
Awesome.
I didn't even want to compete. He bought the plane tickets, got the hotel. He was like, "Okay, we're ready." I was like, "No, I didn't want to go."
He said, you go compete. I'm going to go have fun for a while.
Exactly. He's like, "We're going." I mean, and he like makes posts. He like posts about it on Facebook. He's like, he took this picture of me, and he's like, "Watch your wives, Master World's coming." I don't know. He's very supportive and like loves it. So I mean, you know, you can't ask for
That's
anything better.
cool. So when you guys go out for drinks, he's the one starting fights that you can finish. He's like,
When I was, I know, and I'm really bad at like, I'm starting the fights, you know, used to be like when I was younger, but,
last year.
when I'd have like black eyes from like training when I was doing MMA stuff, he's like, "Can you please wear like some gym shirt or something so that they don't think that I'm the one giving you black eyes, you know, like wear a jujitsu shirt, something, help me out here."
Exactly. Now, you do shooting also, correct? I heard that in our
I mean, I
conversation
live
just
in
now.
Texas. I wouldn't say
Yes.
like I do shooting, but we are all like, it's so funny. Everyone's like, "Does everyone in Texas have a gun?" Yes. Everyone
Yes.
in Texas has a gun. Legally, not legally, it doesn't matter. We all have them.
Right.
So I was just raised around them. It wasn't like I'm suck at it. Don't tell anyone. Don't break into my house. Okay. I don't.
Well, you might come with butt scooting across the room. No, I'm just joking.
Exactly.
If
I
you
mean, my
break in,
husband
look
makes
low.
fun of me because my aim is terrible. I'm okay with a rifle, but
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's the eye thing that gets me. And
Oh,
shooting
really?
a pistol. I don't know. I can't line the sights up. I don't know. I'm
Okay.
special. But yeah,
Nah,
we
just
all
take
have
some
guns.
training.
We all own guns. We carry them.
Oh man, so you conceal and carry out there? Is it open carry state, right? Or is
I
it?
mean, it's constitutional carry as it should
I
be
love it.
everywhere. But
I love it. Yep.
I mean, I live in Dallas, so like you
Okay.
have to carry a gun. This place is sketchy. I don't know if you've
That's
been
what
to
I
Dallas.
heard. I've never been to Texas, but they said
Really?
Dallas.
Well, you
They
love
said,
Tennessee, and you never been to Texas.
I
You
know.
can't
I got a
judge
friend of
Tennessee
mine.
then.
Her family runs some business there. She keeps trying to get me to go to Texas. It's right outside of Waco. Does that sound right?
All right. Well, Waco's not. I mean, that's in the middle of nowhere. It's like
Okay.
an hour from Dallas.
Okay. So Dallas is a crap place, huh?
I mean, it's.
For the most part.
I don't want to get political.
Yeah, I know what you're gonna say, and you ain't wrong. You
But
ain't
it has
wrong.
turned into.
Very blue.
Yep. I didn't know how far you wanted to go with that.
Exactly. I live in Illinois, nothing but blue here.
Oh
I'm
yeah,
I'm,
I'm
I'm an
sorry.
outcast out here. Oh
I'm
my
sorry.
god.
So yeah, it's basically getting a little Chicago-y, if that
Yeah,
helps. So
that helps a lot.
in
Oh my
Dallas, I've
gosh.
lived here my whole life, born and raised in the actual neighborhood I live in. And I live in a suburb, which used to be a suburb, but it is literally just part of Dallas now, right? And it
Yeah.
has progressively gotten worse, progressively.
Yeah.
So,
Oh,
I
yeah.
mean,
Oh yeah.
I don't want to get into all that, but Katrina was
I
the start
know.
of it. Anyway,
Hey, trust me, I get it. I've seen it everywhere.
it busts a lot
Everywhere.
of people up here, and it's not been the same
Yeah.
since.
No, sir. I'll stay
Yeah, so
right where
we
I
just
am.
carry for funsies around here. Not, I mean, I hope I
Yeah.
never have to use it, but I don't want to be in a
Yeah.
position where I need it.
No, I pray you don't either.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know,
So
I'm like, whatever.
ridiculous.
But I carry
But I
everywhere.
do know a
Anyway.
lot of black belts in my community here that are like I train under Alex Ferria. He
Mhm.
owns the Hodger Gracie gym here, and my professor is Antonio Saccone at Academy of Champions. But Alex is in security. He does it like on the side.
Okay.
Like, so
Okay.
and I know a lot of black belts who run like actual ranges where they teach you and do all that, like,
Nice.
yeah. So like a lot of
Nice.
people are really, so I don't want to claim that I'm into that. I'm not at all. But
But you should
but
be,
I
I'm
got the
telling you.
hookups if anybody wants it.
Girl, you should get into it and get a competitive shooting. You'd do probably, I'm telling you, you'll probably do great.
Good
You know,
God.
you probably
Ugh.
gonna close both. I mean, open both eyes anyway.
And that's the
Nothing.
problem. You have to open both eyes. Who can do that? I cannot see. It is not good. And they're like, what's your dominant eye? I'm like, I don't think either one of them are really doing anything.
Oh my gosh. Oh Lord, have mercy. Now, here, this has been awesome. I'm telling you, I don't even want this thing to end. I know you, but I know you have a schedule you have to keep. But I'm gonna ask you a couple more questions before we get
Yeah.
you out of here, because I know you got to run and do all your crazy stuff out
I have
there.
to
I'm looking
actually
at all
teach.
your
I have to
alphabet.
teach
Yeah.
jujitsu. That's what I have
Oh,
to do. I know. I
they
actually
can
teach
wait. No,
Pilates at my jujitsu gym before
that's
the noon class because everybody needs it. If y'all saw Pilates, like literally, if you actually saw the movements, it is such a direct correlation to jujitsu. It's insane.
really,
Yep.
really Pilates, huh?
Yep.
Now, is that because if I'm not mistaken, I could be mistaken. It's the machines where you're not using weights or you're just doing movements. Or how's that
So
work? I saw.
sorry we went down this rabbit hole, but
No, go ahead, girl.
okay, so Joseph Pilates was a man. First of all, let's get that straight
Okay,
because people think
okay,
that
didn't
like,
know
oh,
that.
Pilates is some girly thing. No, he was a man and he was
Yeah.
German. Okay, so he was
Okay.
like very. It was basically he invented it to be physical therapy before physical therapy existed. So in the
Ah,
40s, in
wow.
1940,
Okay.
he kind of came up with this system because people were getting injured, and he
Right.
believes in like the spine being the center of everything you do, which hello, obviously it is. So you're only
Yeah.
as young as your spine is, right?
Right.
So the apparatuses, we call them apparatuses, not machines, I don't know, that's bougie,
Yeah.
were created because no one could do mat properly. So the mat work is just you on the mat. You've seen that. I'm sure
Yep.
everybody's seen
Yep.
that, right?
Yep.
Well,
Yep.
that is the hardest thing you can do in Pilates because there's nothing to help you. So the apparatuses were created for the springs to assist you in the movement, not resist you.
Really.
So it's not like a total gym, which looks the same as a reformer, right?
Right.
The Chuck Norris thing.
Oh yeah. Oh
But
yeah.
that's for resistance. Okay, so that's not Pilates. The way he intended it was for the springs to assist you in the movement because all the work is done with your core.
Okay.
So this is going to go down a whole nother thing, but
That's okay.
the Pilates Method Alliance lost the trademark battle in the year 2000. So anybody can call anything Pilates, and that doesn't mean that it's the method of Joseph Pilates.
Really? He
Yep.
lost his name?
I mean,
In
he was
essence?
dead. He was dead.
Oh,
So
got it.
the
Yeah.
problem
Yeah.
was
Duh. Yeah.
when he died, nobody cared about working out. He died in the 70s. So like
Yeah.
Pilates wasn't huge. He like unfortunately it didn't take off until way after his death. I mean, nobody
Yeah.
worked out except this is why people think it was like, oh, ballerinas. Because he moved to New York in the 40s. And who worked out then? Actors, dancers, that's it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, so the ballet company found him and was like, oh yeah, this is perfect for my dancers. And then unfortunately now everybody thinks that it's just for women. But that's not
Right.
what he
That's
created
exactly
it
how we
for.
look at it. Exactly
Yeah,
how we
if
look at
you
it.
read
Yeah.
his books, which are kind of interesting because they were written in the 40s, he
Yeah.
called it contrology, the art of control. He didn't call it his last name. That didn't happen until way
Wow.
after he died. So the art of control. It is about controlling your body because he believed that you should be able to tell any muscle in your body to move and it should obey you, right?
Right.
Like any muscle. So like even your really deep like obliques, you should be able to flex that oblique and make it move and obey your brain. So it's a
Wow.
mind body connection. That's what he meant by the mind body connection, right? You should be like,
Right.
I want this to move and it moves. And so
Wow.
it really is all about learning to control your body. And what is jujitsu?
Controlling your body
Have
and
you ever
somebody
seen a
else's.
white belt learn how to shrimp? Oh my God.
You mean flop?
I'm like, you don't know how to. So it's like, if you have an understanding of this is why I'm telling you, you have to cross train. You got to lift weights, you got to do core work, you got to do it all, right? Because it's all
Right.
going to help you when you get to the mat. You want that to be in your brain that you know how to move your body. So when you're stuck in someone's side control, you're not like, oh shit, now what do I do? Bridge and
Right.
shrimp. You got to know it naturally. It's got to come naturally to you, right?
Right.
That's the same thing with Pilates. So you train in these very controlled environments where you're doing very slow and concentrated core work so that when you start throwing people over your head, your spine's already stable. You don't have to worry about it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is nothing that I thought Pilates was
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
Okay.
So when I
Okay.
actually started my Pilates journey and I was getting certified through Romana's, which is the last actual real certification that exists, because people who were under Joseph ran that certification. They've
Yeah.
all passed now. The last one just died a couple weeks ago, actually.
Wow.
But it's an internship. So that's how he used to do it, because everybody's different. You can't just take a weekend certification. It's about seeing bodies,
Right.
so we had to
Right.
have 750 observation hours. That's just us watching other instructors teach.
Really?
Yeah. And then it took me like, they didn't really like me in the Pilates community because they don't like strong women. I don't know. They're very kind of bougie still. But I was like, I'm going to do it. And I'm going to get it just to prove y'all wrong. I'm going to be a fighter and I'm going to do it. And so one of my Pilates instructors is a black belt in jiu-jitsu that I met like long time ago. He's the one who I
Yeah.
got my Bulgarian Bag certification from. He was really into jiu-jitsu. And so I was like, okay, this is great. I love it. I'm going to, incorporate this into my workout, because to me, I didn't want to do the girly shit either,
Right. 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 Holy cow,
So,
man.
so yeah,
That's
once you
pretty cool.
understand the concept of it. So anyway, I teach a mat class at my gym, and I force people to do it.
You want to get choked out? No, sit down
Because
here.
it's so like important. People think, oh, just do ab exercises, but it's not really just about like flexion and extension of your abs. It's about being able to flex your abs with your head and your legs up, and being able to breathe, right?
Yeah.
Because what is that? Side control, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah. That is. It's a very painful one.
Exactly. So, if there's any Pilates, I know there's Pilates in Illinois. I know there is. There's
Oh
classical
yeah,
Pilates.
this one out here. I'm not gonna throw their name out until we get them on, but
Yeah.
this right, it's like less than a mile from me, and I've been wanting to go there, but I'm like, it's a whole bunch of women. That's just a woman's exercise.
I know, and that's what I hate
Yeah,
about it, and that's
yeah,
why that's again why I opened my own studio. So
that's
because I
brilliant.
have everything, you can do everything. Again, this goes back to what in the beginning. So my client comes to me, let's say you come to me for a private, and you're like, well, today my back really hurts. Great, let's do Pilates. Or today I really want to punch something and I'm in a bad mood. Great, let's box. Like it
Okay,
doesn't matter what you want to do, I can do it.
that is cool. I
Because I'm not
love
losing
that.
business anymore. No, I'm just kidding.
That's right. Well, you learned, right?
But I think it has
Business owners
to be
have to be
that way.
adaptive. You have to adapt,
Yeah,
man. You have to.
it has
Wow.
to be that way. So yeah, I think everybody should do Pilates. From any age, it's great for everybody, and it's really great for jiu-jitsu. I mean, like life
Okay.
changing.
You know what? I'm serious. I'm just throwing this out. I think I'm gonna give him a call. Probably tomorrow, Saturday. I think I'm gonna give him a call and see if
Now
I can
you got
set
to
up a
make sure it's
first
classical
try.
Pilates, because I'm a snob.
Classical. Let me. Okay.
I'm just saying. Be like,
All right.
what's your certifications?
That's right. Walk
I
in
need
with
to
a
see your
list.
black belt.
Do you do this? Do you do that?
What's your lineage? It's seriously the same in Pilates, though. I'm not kidding you. It is the same. Like who you learned under, what your lineage is. It's just as bougie
Yeah,
as
it's
jiu-jitsu.
very
It's
important.
hilarious.
As they say, it's very important to know.
Yep.
Wow. Now, real quick, I know this is gonna be the last one. I promise you. But you keep
Oh, don't
drawing me
worry.
into this
I'm
stuff,
not.
which I think
I
is
gave
amazing.
you time. I said 10:30, but really, I don't need to leave till like 11 because I just was giving you a buffer.
Hey, and I appreciate that because this is good. See, that's what I like. Let me know because that way I can focus my mind because I get to scatter, man. Now, kettlebells. What do you think of kettlebells?
Love them. So it's funny you should say that. So same thing happened with kettlebells, right? When the certifications came out, everybody's like, this is the right way to do it. Russian
Right.
kettlebells, American
Right.
kettlebells, blah, blah, blah. But the pain-free performance has a kettlebell certification, which is coming here. If anybody wants a discount, let me know. I can get you one.
Okay. Got it. Got it. Shoot it out there.
It's great because it's the same concept. There's no wrong way to do it. If
Okay.
you're moving correctly and doing movement patterns, it's a great tool to have, right?
Okay.
But here's
Gotcha.
the downside to kettlebells as opposed to a Bulgarian bag. There's not a lot of transverse movements in
Okay.
kettlebell. It's a lot of sagittal plane, a lot of frontal plane. It can get very dynamic, but you have to know what you're doing to get really dynamic with kettlebells, right?
Right. You have
Also,
to.
people are scared of them because they're heavy and they hurt when you miss and you hit yourself.
Yeah, especially
Right?
doing the figure eights. Knees
Right? Or
everywhere.
so like
Yeah.
clients even doing cleans on my wrist,
Yeah.
because they can't figure out how to hold the thing and let it like
Hmm.
move in their hand and like move their arm. So teaching
It
people the
slams.
kettlebells is a disaster. But I love the
Gotcha.
kettlebell. That's part of we call it energy system development cardio, which I
Okay.
guess translates to high intensity interval training.
Really?
Layman's,
Okay.
yeah. I use sandbags a lot.
Okay. Yeah.
Because they're unstable load, right? Sandbags, Bulgarian bags, kettlebells. Have you heard of the supples? the guy who made the Bulgarian bag is actually like the Olympic
That's that short
wrestler.
guy, right?
Ivanov, I think is his name.
Yes. I bought some from him before. I
Yeah.
saw one of his videos and bought the yellow or the red one or whatever it was he had on
Yeah.
that
So
stuff.
I have all his
Yeah.
system, the gladiator wall, the infinity rope, all the bands, like
Oh,
all
you
of
got
that stuff.
everything.
Because
Holy
it's
cow.
amazing, like, because he created it for wrestlers, which is kind of, we
Yep.
also need that shit too. But
Yes, wrestlers are
very
phenomenal.
functional, very dynamic. Love all of his stuff. He's got like these fit balls. You like slam them on the ground, duck under them. Super fun.
Wow.
Super fun.
Okay. All right. So kettlebells and the Bulgarian bags.
I like a
that's
Bulgarian bag.
You like that much better because
I
of
like
both
it
handles,
because
or
it's really good for jujitsu because it's a lot of grip strength, right? So he created the Bulgarian bag specifically to taper down on the handles so that it's harder to hold. So you
Okay.
have movement, you have weight, and now you're working on your grip strength. So it's like it's kind of best of both worlds.
Oh yeah, shoot. Okay. I look at these things, and I guess I should probably watch the videos when I bought them from. See what he's doing. I'm just
And so
swinging
that's
them
the
around.
hard part, right? Like either how do you incorporate it into your workout, right? Do you do just
Right.
like a whole hour Bulgarian bag? Most people don't need that.
No.
Although I do teach that because I have classes because that's what the general public wants. But
Yeah.
you can just incorporate it like, okay, remember how I told you about the 6-phase dynamic warm up?
Yes.
So sometimes I'll incorporate that in my central nervous priming because it's explosive.
Okay.
So I'll use it like places like that, or like maybe at the end do a burnout of like spins or whatever. I mean, you can use it as a tool like a kettlebell, or
Okay.
you can program a whole workout around it, which seems kind of excessive sometimes. But
Wow.
you can kind of use it wherever. And that's what's great about the program too. You can throw a sandbag in instead of a heavy barbell, and that makes it more applicable to jiu-jitsu, right? Because it's unstable.
Yeah. So if someone looks at your online program over there at, let me grab the website real quick, teamhicksfitness.com. There you go. If they look at that online program, does it talk about those things? So if I'm out here and I want to get something out, learn more about the Bulgarian bags and all that kind of stuff, will your programs talk about that too?
I mean, so the online program I have is basically like delivered through an app that's just your workout. You go to the gym, you open the app, and it tells you what to do that day. So I kind of have to limit the equipment based on what the general population has, right?
Makes sense.
But if like someone wanted me to write them a program online for Bulgarian bag, surely I could do it. Like if they had a Bulgarian bag, it's not that hard to do. And usually I'll just introduce the Bulgarian bag like one time to teach people how to do it, and then they're set. I also do like Zoom training. I know that seems really, this COVID thing kind of like made really weird things happen. But the cool thing about it is now I can train people like all over the world.
Right.
So I don't hate it.
Okay.
I mean,
that makes sense.
And a lot of my clients who had ended up moving, like, whatever, life takes them away. Well, during COVID, they're like, hey, well, why don't we just train again? I'm like, yeah, well, why didn't we think about this before? Zoom always existed. I mean,
exactly.
Like, why did it take a pandemic for us to learn that,
I know, man. That was a crazy time. Everybody's doing Zoom everywhere. Oh my gosh.
But yeah, concepts of Bulgarian bag, easy to teach. It's pretty easy.
Okay.
It's driven with your legs. And if you just realize that, then it's pretty easy.
Then you're set. Okay. I'm telling you, you are a wealth of knowledge. I'm
Too
telling
much,
you, girl.
Though. That's useless. No. What am I going to do with it? No.
I'm going to say, trust there's plenty of useless crap in our heads, but this ain't it. This ain't it. Well, I tell you, Rita, this has been amazing. But before you get out of here, tell everyone how they can reach you on all your platforms, all the things, how everybody can get a hold of you.
Well, I guess we prefer, I'm not going to lie, my website, we've talked about this in the beginning, technology, I didn't spend time doing that. So my website really just directs you to my social media anyway.
Okay.
I like Instagrams. To me is easier. You can put all the links there and your little link tree thing, and it's good to go, right? So
all right.
Team Hicks Fitness, that's my Instagram. That's my business Instagram. I have a personal one too, but you have to request me. Rita Hicks. It's very secretive. I use my real name.
Oh, how did everyone find you?
Because my dumbass, when it all came out, had no idea we were hiding our identity or whatever we were doing. I was just like, oh, Instagram, what's this thing? I just put my name. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not hard to find me. It's all Rita Hicks. Team Hicks Fitness. Now, I called it Team Hicks Fitness because I didn't want it to seem like I was alone.
Brilliant marketing. Brilliant, I tell you.
But it's just me. I run everything. It's like literally just me teaching all the classes, doing all the privates, writing all the programs. It's just me. But we are a team, right?
Yeah,
Like,
absolutely.
Even
Absolutely.
in individual sports, like jujitsu is an individual sports, but we're a team.
Yep,
so,
you can't get better without somebody else, period.
So I feel like I want to be your teammate. Let me help you.
There you go.
Let
I like
me
it.
help you.
I like it. So any phone numbers you want them to have for,
I mean, it's all on
business?
my
It's
social
all on
media.
there.
It's literally
Gotcha.
literally everything's there. I'm not
Okay.
trying
So,
to, so I carry a gun just in case.
there you go. Exactly. Oh my gosh. So everything's on Team Hicks. That's TEAM Hicks HICKS
Yep,
Fitness.
Yep.
.com.
That's it.
This is awesome. Rita, I tell you, you are a joy. You are a blessing. I tell you, we got to get you on again for part 2. I love saying that.
Yeah.
But I really would like you to come back, especially after Worlds and, after some more chaotic stuff
Unless
happening in your
I
life.
lose. I'm not coming back if I lose. No, just kidding.
That's right. How's it feel to be a loser? No.
We'll talk about the benefits of competing and losing.
That's right. No, it's learning. Learning.
Learning.
Oh, man. Rita, I tell you, like I said, it's been a joy, girl. Come back soon. You made my day. You started my day out right. Just your attitude just blows my mind. I love that free spirit, fun attitude. People, get out to her gym. Find her. If you're in Texas, carry a gun, but go see her.
Exactly.
All right, Rita, we'll be in touch with you. Talk to you soon. I appreciate you, girl.
Thank you so much.
You're more than welcome. Talk to you soon.
Okay,
Bye-bye now.
Oh, man.